This is what you need to know about Wisconsin. It's the only state in the union where the first day of hunting is a state holiday. Young men have guns. Hunting is very, very important.
Black Lives Matter.
All right, so here we are. We've got Ann Coulter talking to Carlos Watson on the Carlos Watson Show. And as usual, I'm a big fan of Ann Coulter. I don't think she always gets her point across in the best possible way. I mean, I like her confrontational, direct style, definitely. And I like, from what I've seen, I like what she has to say. She usually just goes right for the jugular, which I think is good. So here they're going to talk, they're talking about Kyle Rittenhouse. They're talking a bit about Black Lives Matter. I'm sure you guys can guess my view on both of those things. But let's see what Ann Coulter has to say.
So relieved with that. So relieved.
And say more why.
Because he was being attacked, and the right of self-defense, I think, is really, really important, especially if you're a 99-pound weakling like me.
The police make no attempt to stop him. Both Joseph Rosenbaum and Anthony Huber die from their injuries.
Contrary to what the media was saying, what Twitter was saying, what Facebook, or you were allowed to say on Instagram or any of these places, I mean, that was really shocking how it was censored to be on Rittenhouse's side. And so many people, including liberals, came out and said, oh my gosh, I didn't know we shot all white people. How can you not know that basic fact? Not that, I mean, it's self-defense, no matter who the person is you're shooting, but how can you not know that? Because the media was misportraying things, was lying about things, the crossing state line. No, his father lived in Kenosha, his grandmother lived in Kenosha. It's 15 minutes away from Antioch. People act like he drove across California to go.
Yeah, across state lines. He carried a rifle across state lines. Remember all that? And I remember absolutely what Ann Coulter said here, that it was going around that Kyle Rittenhouse is a racist who had shot unarmed black men or something. Just the usual nonsense. And of course, all the media were against him. All the legacy media were against him immediately. And yeah, he was exonerated. He was acquitted eventually, and rightfully so. You know, he did what had to be done, and he did it within the law. So those guys who, you heard that newscaster in that report saying, so-and-so and so-and-so, Rosenbaum and somebody, got shot and died or whatever. Yeah, they did, because they were attacking him. They were literally attacking him with intent to maim or kill.
Come defend, no, it's a 15-minute drive. And the night before, all of these businesses had been burnt down, and riots, and he, along with some other brave American men, because, the idiot mayor of Kenosha, stand down, don't let the cops defend anything. They're going to go defend the town.
Would you have allowed that, though? I mean, it's hard for me to say. I don't have kids, and so maybe I'm crossing a line here, but I don't know that I would allow.
This is what you need to know about Wisconsin. It's the only state in the union where the first day of hunting is a state holiday. Young men have guns. Hunting is very, very important.
Good. I'm glad it is. I'm not a hunter myself. I've never hunted in my life, but I would like to learn. I live in a European country. I live in Belgium. Gun laws and all that are completely different here compared to the United States. I'm certainly not against guns. I've shot them quite a bit when I've been back in the States. But yeah, I think I had no idea that what Ann Coulter said. I'd never heard about that the first day of the hunting season is a public holiday in Wisconsin. I think that's brilliant. So yeah, back to basics. Get back to the way life was lived. A simpler time. Harder, but simpler.
Black Lives Matter. What impact do you think it's had on the country? On balance, what happened post George Floyd? Helpful, not helpful?
A lot of black people got killed. The racial reckoning led to the most gigantic increase in murder. And who are the main people being murdered? The racial reckoning. I mean, from 2019 to 2020, and the racial reckoning only started, like Memorial Day 2020. 30% increase in murders? That's the greatest in history. That's almost triple the biggest, which was, I think, 12-point-something% in 1968. 30%.
So you're saying in a handful of big cities, Denver, Chicago, Philly, Vegas, other places, you're saying murders are up meaningfully.
Mostly through, you're right, it's mostly in the big cities and also the cities where they have George Soros DAs who aren't prosecuting murder. Oh, and the no bail stuff. I mean,
God, the things about the American justice system, it is so messed up in so many places. Just insane. Yeah, these Soros DAs, of course you say that, you know, even though it's perfectly true, it is 100% documented that George Soros and his foundation fund the campaigns of DAs who have certain agendas which are completely at odds with public safety and security, or completely at odds with maintaining standards in society, and very much in favor, or have the result of breaking down social cohesion. Yeah, that's absolutely true. So yeah, let's get back into it. This statistic she mentions about murders rising 30% in certain big cities in the wake of BLM. I haven't heard about that. If you know about that, please let me know in the comments. I'd be interested to learn more about that.
BLM is connected, it's all part of defund the police, no bail, Soros DAs, and who's getting killed? Oh, I mean, some white people, some Hispanics, but a lot of black men.
Now, all right, but keep playing with this, though. Do you think there's, even if you say those are negatives of it, do you feel like that there are positives to what happened with Black Lives Matter over the last year and a half? Given what was happening with George Floyd and Tamir Rice and Breonna Taylor and on. Do you, on balance, did you want something like that?
I can't see anything good coming out of it.
Do you find yourself, because one of the things I keep saying to everyone I know is I think we're in the most transformative decade in the last half century, that I think the 2020s will be the new 60s, that I think if you went to sleep today and woke up in 2030, you wouldn't recognize where you were. In the same way that if you'd gone to bed December 31st, 1959 and woke up December 31st, 1969, you would have been like, holy, what the happened here?
Yeah.
Right? Like, it wasn't like slightly different.
You're right.
It was meaningfully different.
You're right.
Right?
I wish I could see the future. It would tell me what stock to buy.
Are you good with money? Are you a good stock picker?
No, do the opposite of what I do.
Oh, is that right? Now, are you a big spender?
No, I think that's among the things that I found appalling about Trump. It's the opposite of a wasp.
Oh, you were saying you were a proud wasp.
Trump is definitely the opposite of a wasp, that's for sure. Yeah, he's a bit glitzy. He's more like the rapper mindset. Rappers used to love him until he ran for president. Anyway, so just Ann Coulter saying a few Ann Coulter things. Being quite, this interviewer was actually quite good. I liked him. Just being, just asking her questions, listening to the answers. That's the way many interviews should be. Instead of trying to push back, just let the interviewee talk. They will make their views known, and the listeners can decide for themselves. So let me know what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll be back in another video.